Now after installing the VMware tool, my computer is getting restarted. So we need to give some time for that. Normally it will take like 1 or 2 minutes, depend upon your the configuration of the virtual machine. So normally I give 4 GB of memory. As I mean, as much as memory increases, your performance of the computer will also be increases. Okay, so memory and CPU plays major role. Okay, in order to I mean with respect to the performance. Okay, so now I'm installing. Let me log in as Sanju. I have logged in. And if I try to copy something now from base machine, let me go to this computer and copy this one VLC player and go to this Windows 10. Yeah, now try to paste it here. It will take 2-3 seconds to reflect. Copy. See, paste option came now. So now since you have installed the driver, you have copied the content from the base machine to the virtual machine. Okay. Now you know how to install an application inside the computer. If you want to install any application inside the computer, you copy that setup file, just double click on it, click on yes, and click on next, 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 and finish. That's all. Very easy to install. Okay. If you see appwiz.cpl, wiz.cpl, appwiz.cpl, this is a command to check the installed applications. Okay, see, you don't see any application which is installed in the name of VLC. Okay, so what I'll do, I will just go. Okay, so click on English and say next, 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 and install, finish. So now it will quickly get installed. See, VLC player came, finish. And if you go to the application wizard, appwizard.cpl, application wizard.control panel, you can see an application there which is already, see, VLC media player installed. And see, VMware just now I have installed. Today is 14, see, April 18th. Okay, I have installed these two tools. Okay, so we are good then. Now you know how to install an application. Now I want to check what is my computer now. Okay, if I go to CMD command prompt, how to go to the command prompt? Click on Windows button and R, run prompt will come. Type CMD, command prompt will open, and if you put host name, you have to run a command called host name, HOST host name. See, desktop hyphen AKU VQMK, correct? This is not the as per the standard. Now you need to rename a computer. Okay, how to rename a computer? There are two ways. You can even go to my computer here, this PC, click on properties. This is graphically how can you do. I am going to show you. Okay, and if you look at your computer name is this one, desktop AKU VQMK, correct na? And your system configuration, see, it is Intel core i7. My processor is i7 and see 8650. It is 8th generation and the speed is 1.9 gigs to 2.11 gigs. And it has got two processors. See, and see 4 GB memory is there. Correct? Huh? That is what we created. Out of 16 GB, I have given 4 GB memory and 2 core CPU have given. Okay, correct? Huh? And that is i7 and 8th generation. Okay, so how to rename a computer? You can right click here and do the renaming also. Okay, or if you don't want to do it here, you can also go system advanced, the advanced system settings here, and you see computer name option here. You can see the computer name is here, desktop AKU VQMK. Click on change here, then you change the computer name here. If you don't want to go via graphics, so much distance, okay, so many hops, you can simply go to the command prompt and type a command called sysdm.cpl, system domain management.cpl. It will straight away take you to the same computer name option. See, it came here. Now you have an option here, change option. Click on change and you can name bng-admin hyphen dt01 desktop or laptop 01 admin lt01. Okay, click on OK. Now your computer get restarted. As soon as the renaming is done, your computer get restarted. Yep. So close it, restart now. Okay, to make any changes at the registry level or at the name, if you want to rename a computer, you need to restart. If you want to change a registry level, you need to restart. Or if you want to make any application uninstallation, you have to restart. Okay, so in order to take that effect. So now we are done with how to check the name of a computer and how to rename it. Next one, I will quickly show you how to add the IP address. Okay, IP address, anyway I'm going to take a class completely, maybe after 3-4 classes. So for now I'll quickly show you how to check the IP address of a computer and how to change the IP address of a computer. Password @123. Okay, okay, now you see my computer is logged in. Now to check the IP address, again there are two ways. One is graphics, another one is command prompt. I will show you graphically how you can see the IP address. See, this computer network symbol is there down below, network interfaces. Okay, right click on this network interfaces, click on open network and internet settings. If you click on open internet settings, you see this Ethernet options, change adapter options here. Okay, click on change adapter options, then you see the network interface card here. See, network interface card is there. Right click on the Ethernet card which is connected, go to status, click on details, and you see here your IP address is 192.168.230.164, subnet mask is this one, and gateway is 230.2. Correct, na? So this is how you can see graphically. Okay, if you don't want to go here, right click and do, there is another command, ncpa.cpl, network control panel dot control panel. If you click that, you will directly open this Ethernet options, and you can just again right click, go to the status, and you see the details. Okay, if you don't want to do this one, again one more option is there, command. Always easy to use command. Go to command and just type IP configuration, IP config, hit enter, that's all. See, no confusion, very straightforward answer, very limited answer. IPv4 address is 192.168.230.164, 255, 255, 255, 0 is your subnet mask, and default gateway is 192.168.230.2. Correct? So this is how you can check the IP address. Now you may wonder, I have not given the IP address. Why the automatically the IP address came? correct? Will I, whenever I install a computer, will the IP address comes automatically? You may have a question. No, IP address never comes automatically. Here what has happened, in this VMware, I have configured DHCP. Okay, when you install the VMware client, automatically VMware configure the DHCP in order to assign the IP address for all the VMs that you build. Only in the VMware workstation, not in the real time, the bigger ESXi host. Okay, only in the VMware workstation it will be there. So now think that you don't have any IP address. How to add an IP address? Very simple. Same, type the command ncpa.cpl network control panel.cpl. You open this network interface card. Click on Ethernet 0, go to properties. Now you see internet protocol. I told in IP address means it's internet protocol address. Internet protocol version v4. Click on properties and see you have two options. One is to obtain an IP address automatically. That means since this is selected, my VMware is assigning the IP address, or my DHCP is assigning the IP address, due to which I have selected the first option called obtain an IP address automatically. If I don't want to get the IP address automatically, and if I want to add my own IP address, then you have to click the second option here, use the following IP address. As soon as you click on this use the following IP address, see this got allowed. This is the grayed out went off and it is prompting you to add the IP address. So now 192.168.190.100, I'll put 100. So if you put a tab, press the tab button in your laptop, it automatically populates the subnet mask, because this 192.168.190.10 is there. No? This is a class C IP address. So in the class C, you will have more number of networks, less number of computers. I'll explain you when I do the IP address classes. But for now, you should understand the subnet mask will automatically get populated depend upon the class of the IP address. Okay, so this is class C. Class C means 3 are for the network, only 1 is for the host. That is the reason all 255 and 0 came here. Okay, and the default gateway, you should always add this. If you don't add the default gateway and the subnet mask, even if you simply add the IP address, it won't work. So in order to have a communication of a computer, you should always add this 3 mandatorily. Okay, so 192.168.190.1. So you may ask, what is this gateway? Gateway is nothing but it's a gate of your compound. Say for example, like you have your door, you have so many vents in the house. You have window, you have ventilation, you have front door, you have back door. But normally, and window also will be there. Normally, to get into the house and go out of the house, we normally use the main door. This gateway is the main door only. All the traffic to this computer comes via this gateway and goes via this gateway. Okay, that is why we call it as the gateway. Okay, so click on OK and close it, and now go to the IP config and rerun the same command ipconfig. If you use up arrow, you will have the history of the address. Now I'll click. See, you see the change in the IP address here. First IP address is, see, 192.168.230.164. But the latest IP address I added is 192.168.190.100. So we are good. Now let me check whether my computer, Windows 10 computer, is able to communicate with other computer. Let me check this PC0 and what is the IP address is there. Okay, PC01, if I log in, how to check the communication between two computer or between any devices for that matter, maybe from say for example, if you want to check the communication between from your computer to the Google, say for example, go to command prompt and you want to see whether the internet is working or not. Ping, type google.com. See, you are getting the response. Ping means it is packet internet grouping. It's a command, it's an ICMP request that you're telling to computer to send this to the google.com. So what happens, your computer will send some bytes, hi bytes, hello bytes. So that will go to the google.com website and getting the response. How frequent, how soon it is getting the response? Within 25 milliseconds, the your computer is able to talk to the Google server. So it is you are getting the say response. Replay from 142 to 250 66 14. This is the IP address of this Google domain. Okay, if you copy this IP address and go to browser, and you can put that IP address, you will see the website. See, Google opened. I am trying to put the IP address 142 250 66 14, and if I hit enter, Google is opening. Similarly, if you want to see the Facebook, ping facebook.com. See, you are getting the response. So let me copy this 163 70 138 35 and go to the browser, okay, and put the IP address, and you see Facebook opens. Advanced, proceed. See, Facebook opens. Correct na? You are into, sorry. See, Facebook is has got multiple. Sorry, sorry, something went wrong. So Facebook has multiple edge servers. Okay, so when you type www.facebook.com by being in Bangalore, it will go to the Bangalore server. If you go to US for some business trip tomorrow only, and if you try to access www.facebook.com, that will never send a request to the Indian server. That will send that to the local server there somewhere in the US. Okay, so it has got some edge servers. Okay, that is the reason when I say facebook.com, I am not sure where it is going. Okay, so but ultimately it is facebook.com only, because you see this Facebook logo here. See, Facebook got open. Correct na? So that is how you will make sure the communication. If you don't know the name, if you know the IP, say for example in my case it is 192.168.190.100, like na. See, it does not have the communication. Okay, if it is not having the communication, you will see like this: request timed out. When you say request timed out, that means the computer is not in the communication. If you are getting the response like this, that means you have the communication between your computer and the destination server. Okay, so that is how you check the communication. Okay, the next one is how to grant access to the computer. Say for example, I need to grant access to a user. Okay, how to grant access? You need to go to this my computer again. Graphically I'll show you. Okay, right click on manage option, and you see here local users and groups, and you see there are users as well as groups. Go to the groups. These are all the groups which gives the respective access. If you want to grant administrator access, you double click on administrator and add the user here. Okay, or if you want to grant remote desktop user RDP user access, click on a remote desktop user and add the user here. Okay, this is in the graphic. If you want to do it on command prompt, very easy always. Go to the command prompt and type a command called lusrmgr.msc, local user manager.msc, and you will straight away open this users and groups. You don't need to go to my computer, click on manage, and then go to local users and groups and click on users and groups. No need to do that. Just go to the groups. Say for example, I want to grant access to the remote desktop user to Sanju. What I will do, let me type Sanju and click here. See, Sanju came. BNG admin LT01/Sanju, add it, done. Okay, so now Sanju has got the local RDP user access, because you can see RDP, under RDP Sanju is there. So now Sanju can log into this computer. Okay, so that is how you grant access. Next one is you can check the disks partitions. Okay, so you know, right, when I build a computer, I have built two partitions. But if I go to my computer, I can only see C drive, but D drive it is not created yet. Okay, guys, 1 second. Getting back to back calls. I don't know why. So if you look at, it is D drive is there, but it is not showing any data. Okay, I mean it is not showing the free space. It is showing you as a raw file. Okay, so to check what you can do, you can go to the run and type a command called disk management mgmt.msc disk management.msc. You will straight away see, you will go to the disk management option here, and you see here there is a D drive. Okay, it is unhealthy. Right click and you can format it, and then as soon as you are done with the formatting, if you go to my computer, you see the D drive is there. Sometimes what happens, this will not even visible. Okay, this won't be visible. Okay, let me delete this volume. Sometimes it will be like this, unallocated, but if you go to my computer now, see, you don't see the D drive at all. So how to make it visible? When you come to this disk management.msc, you can see this black color stripe one, and it says 10 GB is unallocated. Now you want to create a volume. How to create a volume is nothing but the partition. Right click on this volume and you see a new simple volume. Click on new simple volume, say next, 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 and you can see which drive you wanted to add. You want to add D drive, E drive, Z drive, any drive if the letter is free. Okay, click on finish, finish, finish. Now you see it says new simple volume got created, and it's healthy, and it's about 10 GB. Now if you go back to the my computer and look at, you see a new partition got created with the name new volume and D drive. See, 10 GB free is there. Yeah, so that is how you do the partitions. Okay, so what extra else is there? Access done, domain joining VMware or time zone. That is very important. Time zone is very important. How to change the time zone? Here you see it is in Indian timings now, correct? Na? So right click on it, go to the adjust time and date and time. Imagine if you're working in some other Europe. Okay, let me put European time. Okay, so European time is plus 1:30. Amsterdam, see, plus 1. It is Berlin, Amsterdam, Rome, Stockholm, Vienna. So this is European time. So now it is 8 o'clock 19 minutes. I think they are 4.5 hours back. So now the time would be around 6 o'clock. 5:45 it seems. As soon as I change the time zone, you see from 8:19 a.m. it will get changed. See, 4:49 a.m. exactly. See, 4:49 a.m. now. That is why the time zone is very important, I said. Okay. Now if you change it back to the Indian timings, IST 5:30, GMT 5:30. See, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, New Delhi, and the time change back to 8 o'clock 19 minutes in the early morning. Okay. Now you know how to change the date and time as well. Okay. So the next one is the domain joining. Okay. See, domain joining will be very important. Okay, because before you understand, I will only show you how to do the domain joining. Okay, but I will not show you, I will not explain you today, because that itself is the different class. Okay, what is the difference between work group and domain? But basically, just to give you an understanding, I will take 2 minutes to give some background and then start the thing. Okay, see, when I said domain joining, if I'm not joining the computer to the domain, okay, so it will be in the work group. There are two things. Yeah. So there are two things. One is work group. Another one is domain. So you should understand what is work group and what is domain. See, in case of work group, if you have 10 computers, all the 10 computers are interconnected. So computer 1 can talk to computer 2 can talk to computer 3, and like that, all the 10 computers can talk to each other. If I grant you access to this computer, your access will all be restricted to this one. You cannot log into this computer. Similarly, if I grant access to here, you can only log in here. You cannot log into the remaining 9 computers. but you can create multiple accounts. I can even grant you by creating your new account. Say for example, consider, let me take a name, Gokul. Okay, let me take Gokul. So I have given access to Gokul to this computer. Okay, now if I want to add Gokul to this computer, again I need to create this account here in this computer like Gokul and grant access like administrator or reader it, whatever is the access. So imagine I have granted access to this computer. Say for example, you have a laptop at your home. The laptop and the desktop at your home is in work group only. Okay. So what has happened? You are also using that computer, and your brother and sister is also using the same computer. Even though you have created separate user account to log in, after logging in, they see the data of yours, and you can see the data of his or her data. Correct? Na? Because there is no security in terms of work group. But in case of domain, it is not like that. Domain means it is a security boundary. Domain means it's a security boundary. Say for example, you are working in Microsoft. Microsoft will have a domain called microsoft.com, and you will get a ID created like Gokul @ microsoft.com. So what we will give, we will grant access to the computer which is running in the uh, which is running in the estate. So in between that, we will have a server. This is called as domain controller. All your ID will be created here. Pulling the ID from here, we will grant access to you to this computer. So today you are here in India, tomorrow you are traveling to US, and you have kept some data here in your OneDrive or in your local computer. So what we can do, we can use the same user from Gokul from here and grant access to the computer that is there in the US. So then, as soon as Gokul logs into this computer, whatever data he has kept in his profile, like OneDrive or in his profile, that data will be started synchronizing here. So without the password, he cannot log in first of all, and the data is like access based enumeration. If you don't have access, you will not be able to see the data even though it is there in the D drive of others data. Say for example, this computer was used by some other engineer locally there at the US. So for time being, you have requested or administrator grant access to you also to this computer, and as soon as you log in, you can only see your data. You cannot see the user who is already using this computer because there is an access based enumeration is enabled. Okay, even though data is there, out of 100 GB 80 GB data is there, you cannot see the data 80 GB. You can only see there is 220 GB free space, and you can use the data wherever you have access. Otherwise you don't see the data. Even though you see the data, you cannot open it. Okay, that is how this work group and the domain works. Anyway, I'll explain you this in the upcoming classes before I get started the Active Directory class. So how to domain join, I'll just show you. Okay, so to domain join also you have to go to the same place, sysdm.cpl. Then this computer name option comes. You have to click on change option, like the way you change the name. And here, instead of the computer name, what you can do, you can see here member. Here you can type microsoft.com, microsoft.com. Okay, and as soon as you hit enter, it will prompt you username and password. Okay, it will prompt you username and password. You need to enter the username and password of the microsoft.com domain, the authentic username and password. Then the computer gets added to the domain and it gets restarted. So once the restart is done, okay, your the look and feel of the computer gets changed. Okay, look and feel of the computer gets changed. So it will be like this. It will be, I'll show you. See, it is Microsoft. Here it is, see, if it is Microsoft. So let me put this is not on ADC. Okay, DC I have deleted, it seems. Okay, it will be like this. Your name will be like Gokul @microsoft.com. You need to enter like this, and you need to enter the password. Password @123, and hit enter. So as soon as you put Gokul @microsoft.com, it is now verifying whether the Gokul is there or not, but it is not created. Gokul is not created yet in the Microsoft.com. So it says it is not. See, we can't sign in you in this credential because your domain is not available. Make sure your device is connected to your organization's network and try later. The same thing, because it is not in the domain now. It is there in the domain, but the domain controller is not on. See, both the DC01 and ADC01 is off. That is the reason you are not able to do it. So these are all the post build checklists actually. So any questions so far? So once everything is done, you can hand over this computer to the production. So these are all the post build checklists I wanted to explain you today. Any questions so far, guys? Let me stop the recording.